Hello everyone, I'm Tamara Callahan and this is my landscape evaluation of the oval-headed sweat bee, also known as the Lasioglossum Ovaliceps. The oval-headed sweat bee is dark in color and some contain red or yellow abdomen. They're efficient pollinators. Some are social while others tend to isolate themselves. Recent observations were in Washington, Oregon, California, and other U.S. states. As you can see here on this screenshot from iNaturalist.org, the species can be found scattered all along the Pacific Northwest states. These ArcGIS images illustrate cropland data from Washington State, Oregon, and California. 153 independent buffers were dissolved. 5 buffers were selected at random and then analyzed. I theorized the list below based on the highest counts of land cover types in the region. I exported the attribute table data in ArcGIS to an Excel spreadsheet to calculate proportion of my focal area in each land cover type. I received 2 projection areas and had to reselect buffers to correct the problems. I used a 500-meter buffer size as the distance from occurrence point that represented the local landscape, and it worked for the purposes of this project. I used the P-land class level metric and the 8-cell rule. I found it to be the most appropriate for this small flying insect species. P-land metrics by land cover types for 5 random buffers can be found here. Some land cover types came up on all 5 buffers, including mixed and evergreen forests. The top 6 favored land cover types for the oval-headed sweat bee were mixed forest at 24%, evergreen forest at 22%, developed medium intensity land at 13%, developed low intensity land at 12%, and shrubland at 11%, as well as developed/open space at 9%. On average, the patches of its favorite land cover types were somewhat low at approximately 15% class averages. I think those patches would be large enough to support a population of Lasioglossum ovaliceps since the population sizes can vary from singular to group capacity. Evergreen and mixed forests are connected in the region. The 5 random buffers represented the most prominent land cover types. Lasioglossum ovaliceps appears to enjoy forested areas near coastal landscapes and seems to be slightly landscape diverse. The results were fairly consistent with each other, except that 2 buffer points were located amongst others, whereas the other 5 buffers were mostly isolated. Most buffer points were located within forested areas near mountain ranges and large water sources. It appears that evergreen forest and mixed forest are the preferred land cover types of the Lasioglossum ovaliceps species. The species followed patterns described in iNaturalist.org and indicated by observers in the selected region. Mixed forest, evergreen forest, grassland pasture, shrubland, deciduous forest, and developed low-intensity land cover areas matched my theory at the beginning of the project. It made sense that those landscapes would be ideal for the species, especially the forested areas which are prominent in the observed region. Developed high-intensity blueberries, herbaceous wetlands, woody wetlands, corn, fallow, Christmas trees, and other tree crops were also land cover types for the oval-headed sweat bee. Lasioglossum ovaliceps may pass through those areas while traveling to their favorite land covers, such as mixed and evergreen forests.